Welcome to this explainer. Close your eyes for just a second. Let out a slow breath. Now open them. What if I told you that human behavior isn't some great unsolvable mystery? It's actually a machine, a sprawling, masterful piece of engineering governed by absolute, undeniable laws of physics. Today we're going deep into cybernetics, the definitive hardwired operating system of the human soul. Now this isn't just some abstract psychological theory for us to ponder. This is the concrete blueprint of exactly who you are, precisely how you act, and literally the mechanism by which you can take the wheel of your own destiny.
Listen to this carefully. Without changing the self-image, any attempt at lasting change remains unstable because the regulatory mechanism will restore the previous level of functioning. That brilliant, unshakable truth comes directly from Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and it establishes a hard, undeniable fact of our existence. We are autonomous systems. We are magnificent masterpieces of steering and information processing. You can't just cross your fingers and wish for a different outcome in your life. Your internal regulatory mechanism, your built-in autopilot, is going to relentlessly drag you right back to your baseline coordinates unless you consciously and deliberately reprogram the destination.
So let's dive into the foundational science here. The word cybernetics actually comes from the ancient Greek word for steersman. It's the absolute science of how systems, specifically us humans, control and transmit information to reach a designated target. Think of this as a concrete law of physics that governs your everyday actions. To truly master this human machine, to actually steer it properly, we have to look at two fundamental, undeniable components. First, the programmable software that dictates our chosen goals. And second, the unchangeable hardware that sets the absolute limits of our physical mechanics.
I want you to imagine this glowing network, not just as lines of light, but as a rich, thick layer of vibrant paint on a canvas, a rigid, physical topography of your own mind and body. This symbolizes the dense, tangible reality of our neural and energetic pathways. It's a breathtaking feast for the eyes, isn't it? It's endlessly complex. But most importantly, it operates with absolute mechanical precision. And to take control of this physical network, we first need to understand exactly how the software running through these pathways gets programmed.
Act 1. The internal software.
We start with Psycho-Cybernetics. This is the exact, proven method for programming the internal software of your destiny. And the absolute core of this software? Your self-image. Now, the definition here is definitive. Your self-image is not just a loose collection of beliefs, it's not a fleeting mood, and it's definitely not just temporary self-esteem. It is your literal operational control room. It's the architectural blueprint around which all your decisions, all your actions, and all your physical results are automatically organized. I state this as an absolute certainty. If this self-image is faulty, failure is guaranteed. Because your system is blindly steered by its current coordinates. It will navigate you straight into a brick wall without hesitation if that's what your internal map says. So how do we practically rewrite these coordinates? Well, here is the precise, unbreakable recipe to reprogram your internal servomechanism. Step 1. You've got to find 30 minutes every single day to be completely alone and undisturbed. Step 2. Systematically relax your physical body and close your eyes. Step 3. Vividly picture yourself acting ideally and successfully. You have to act as the artist here. Vividly paint these mental images with rich, vibrant sensory detail. That's what allows your brain's built-in success mechanism to record these new coordinates as literal truth. And step 4, you have to just let it work instead of trying to make it work.
And that brings us to a really profound, liberating instruction. Force, sheer conscious effort, is entirely unnecessary. You literally cannot strong-arm the human machine with willpower. You simply program the destination into your self-image through that vivid visualization, and then you step back. You let the autonomous system navigate automatically. Plus, you have to accept mistakes not as personal, emotional failures, but just as mechanical feedback. Think of a heat-seeking missile adjusting its trajectory in midair. An error is merely a data point telling your physical system to seamlessly correct its course.
Act 2. The unchangeable hardware.
But here's the thing. That programmable software? That's only half the equation. We now have to shift our focus from the internal software you can rewrite to the hardwired reality of human nature that you absolutely cannot alter. To understand this, we turn to the Polish School of Cybernetics. Professor Marian Mazur gave us the brilliant, unyielding theory of autonomous systems. Through intense study of global networks and physical properties, he mapped out the absolute laws that dictate exactly how humans process matter, energy, and information.
Mazir decoded something fundamental. He called it the dynamism of character. Now, we're talking about character here not as a moral judgment. It's not about being a good or bad person, but as immutable, unchangeable hardware. It represents the rigorously fixed control parameters that dictate exactly how you physically process energy and information. This dynamism is entirely non-convertible. The way a person gathers or disperses energy is as permanent as the thick, deliberate strokes of impasto paint dried onto a timeless masterpiece. It is entirely fixed.
Let's walk through these 5 undeniable character types. At one extreme, you have the exodynamic. Highly positive in dynamism, they're this chaotic, creative force that rapidly disperses information and energy out into the world. Next, the exostatic. Quite positive, they naturally showcase and embellish reality, always craving an audience. Right in the center, we have the static. Near zero dynamism, this hardware simply maintains order, perfectly recording exactly what happens with zero distortion. Moving down, the endostatic. Quite negative. Their energy perfectly organizes, manages, and structures everything for ultimate operational efficiency. And finally, the endodynamic. Highly negative in dynamism, they're like a gravitational force that aggressively gathers, accumulates, and hoards absolutely everything.
Now, the practical applications of this immutable hardware are incredibly powerful. This literally dictates how you should hire, trust, or manage people based on their unchangeable energetic flows. Statics, for instance, they're the only fully reliable witnesses in a courtroom. Why? Because they just report the raw facts. They are highly responsible rule followers. Endostatics are your ultimate managers, driven purely by operational effectiveness and structure. Exodynamics are endlessly creative, but man, if you put them on the witness stand, they're going to present sweeping fictions born of their own vibrant imaginations. And exostatics? Driven by aesthetics and recognition, they naturally seek to embellish the truth to make a story look way better than it actually is.
This sprawling, colorful network beautifully illustrates that a person's intellect, their raw talent, and their overall capacity are rigorously bound by the baseline dynamism of their character. An individual's internal energy physically flows along these specific, unchangeable routes. Expecting an endostatic organizer to suddenly act like a wildly chaotic, creative exodynamic, it's exactly like expecting a river to flow up a mountain. It simply defies the absolute physics of the human machine.
Act 3. Synthesizing the machine.
Okay, we have to bring these two absolute laws together now. Maltz's programmable software and Mazur's unchangeable hardware. Because here is the climax of human mastery. To truly take control, you must seamlessly marry the vibrant, fluid colors of your programmable self-image with the rigid, heavy iron gears of your immutable character. You have to actively paint your goals onto your self-image through daily visualization while simultaneously, ruthlessly accepting the physical limits of your energetic type. You program the destination, sure, but you must completely respect the exact vehicle you were given to drive. And this leads us to the ultimate cybernetic law. If your character clashes with a situation, you must change the situation. I say this with absolute authority. It is an undeniable fact. Forcing a precise, rule-following static to act like a fast-moving, chaotic exodynamic is a direct violation of the human machine's blueprint. You absolutely cannot change your hardwired character to fit a bad environment. You must intelligently design the environment to fit your hardwired character.
This represents the profound peace and undeniable success that comes when a human system operates in total, unobstructed alignment. When the rich, heavy paint of our innate, unchangeable character perfectly matches the canvas of our chosen environment, and our internal servomechanism is confidently locked on to a clear, positive self-image, we become unstoppable. Energy flows flawlessly. We operate exactly as the ultimate design intended.
But I want to leave you with this lingering thought. We've established as absolute fact that your hardware, your character dynamism, is entirely unchangeable. And your software, your self-image, steers your physical actions completely automatically once it's programmed. So, as you look at the complex, deeply painted masterpiece of your own life, who is the one holding the brush? Who is the you observing the machine? I'm going to let you sit with that. Keep questioning, keep analyzing the blueprint, and I'll see you in the next explainer.